Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
You're an idiot. Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
Trying to shake it up. That's right.
It's only been 10 weeks.
It's
been a while since we potted.
Yeah, we took a longer pause than the Premier League did during COVID. It's just been a weird year. So I'm excited to do this Premier League wrap up and put an end to this year, even if it's just metaphorically for us as we traipse ahead forward and look ahead to next Premier League season where there's fans and stuff.
Yeah.
Before that, the Euros.
Oh yeah, we got the Euro.
Right?
Yeah, see that. Yep.
And there's Olympics.
Olympics most likely, and Europe. Oh God, we got some good
Gold
soccer.
Cup. We got a lot of stuff happening.
And in just a few hours is Champions League final.
Is anybody watching? Oh, you mean Premier League Part 2.0 since it's Man City and Chelsea.
Battle of the Blues.
Yeah.
Yep.
The victors of having to play during this pandemic is definitely England or the Premier League, because they've done super well. To have had Liverpool win it last year and now going to guarantee have an English team win it again this year. That's a big deal for Premier League. So I'm very excited to watch that as well.
And it's kind of crazy that from a quick Chelsea standpoint, Tuchel takes over and Chelsea have a kind of a inconsistent year, but they have still been able to get into, the FA. Even though they lost, they were in the FA final, and Chelsea women won the league and then went to Champions League, lost against Barcelona.
Got smoked against Barcelona in that one.
Yeah, they did. And then now, the men are in the Champions League final against Man City. So really, it's been a kind of a quietly good year for Chelsea.
And while Man City has been good, they have faltered. So this should be a fun Champions League final.
The last time we played Man City, we beat them 1-0.
Anything could happen.
It's possible.
Let's just hope they don't roll in like they did their last couple of games. If Aguero's still looking to look good on his way out, watch out.
Yeah. True story.
Well, gentlemen, before we get to the or more soccer, which specifically the wrap up of Premier League, shall we go around and say what our beers is?
Sure.
Oh, I would love to.
All right, you gents go first. I got to grab mine out of this fridge behind me.
I guess I'll go first.
Go for it first.
So, I have a little bit of a shameless plug here, but prior to leaving the Big Storm Brewing tap room in Orlando, Florida last night, I poured myself a growler fill, a 32-ounce growler fill, in our lovely little merch action here. Nice little growler holder.
A little bag, little holder. It's cute.
Thank you.
Nice.
Pull this out yonder. 32 ounce, so nice 2-beer. I figured it'd be a nice 2-beer growler for the pod, as we usually go through 2 beers on these type of previews and reviews and all of that. And what I have in here today, because we already sold out of the cans, because it's our top seller, is on the weekend, most people like to drink a mimosa.
Mm-hmm.
This is Bromosa Tangerine IPA from Big Storm.
Oh, that's
7% IPA, and it is by far our top seller, and it is by far one of the most dangerous beers you will ever drink, because it does not taste like 7%, and anybody that says, I don't like IPAs, try this. It does not taste like an IPA, because it's dry hopped, so a lot of it is just the smell and the aroma on the back end, because when you dry hop it, it's added later in the process, so you're just getting a lot of that aroma. You don't taste a whole lot of that hoppy bitterness or anything. It's just plenty of juicy flavor, and it's a fantastic beer.
Man, in 5 years, how the tables have turned we first started Ferris, was like, I don't know as much about craft beer and stuff, so you guys can talk about that. And now Mr. works at the craft brewery and talking about the specificities of how dry hopping works. Love it. Love it.
Proud.
I'm know, so proud. Right? Well, Ron, if you don't mind, I would like to go next because Ferris and I are on brand together accidentally.
Okay.
So one of my guys, you guys know my favorite go-to company, Sierra Nevada. They have a new Wonderland Nectarine Pale Ale.
I think I have one more of those left in my fridge, actually.
So you tangerine on yours, right? This is
Yep.
So this is set out and see where the adventure leads. Roam until your paradise appears, like the juicy golden sunset of a brew. Take it all in with an aroma of just picked fruit, bold hop flavor, and a bright burst of nectarine. Enjoy the ride. So we're both rolling citrus this morning.
It's a fruity Saturday.
Let's do it.
Nice. Mine is from a craft brewery here in China. They're called Lazy Taps Brewing. Check out the bottle art.
Oh, that's
Love
cool.
it.
I like that. Got the big
Pretty
tsunami
slick.
wave with the
wave
wheat.
with all the wheat and the Chinese characters. This is their Roar Wheat wit beer. They've got some pretty slick beers, and their most famous one is Sichuan Pepper Lager.
Oh, crap. That sounds good.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's essentially it's kind of a spicy beer, but not the Sichuan pepper beer kind of numbs your mouth. That's what Sichuan peppers kind of do.
Yeah, they don't have like a bright upfront heat. It's like a darker, I don't know, back heat. I don't know how else to explain it, but like it doesn't have like a chili pepper kind of vibe.
Right. The chili peppers, so there's a red Sichuan pepper and a green one, and they're tiny little balls. And one of them, the green one, is a little more hot, and the red one has a numbing effect. So it's such a great sensation. An entire cuisine of a whole section of Chinese cuisine is all dedicated to those peppers.
Oh, I love cooking with the Szechuan oil that you brought down. That stuff's
so
delicious.
good, right? So anyway, from this company, Lazy Taps, I have their Roar Wheat, and it's about the roar of the ocean. So I can't wait to try this one.
Sweet. All right, let's do this. Ron, did you bring your little special James Bond bottle opener, or did you find another one? That is great.
I love it.
As we with our nerded James Bond bottle openers.
Yep.
All right.
Ooh, Nelly. Look at that color, gents. Nice, juicy,
that's
hazy.
Super. I mean, a little hard to tell coming through the FaceTime if that's true color, but that's very bright orangey kind of straw. Like it's not as golden.
Whose?
Ferris's.
Oh.
It's called Brilliance in a Glass.
All right, gents, here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cilantro.
Good Lord. Man, this might be one of my favorite Sierra Nevadas ever. This is delicious.
That one is good.
Man, that's good.
Nice breakfast in the morning.
This has a very floral, perfumey taste to a wit beer. There's not very much spice to it, like you'd normally expect, like in that coriander kind of like citrus / coriander feel that you get. This is very floral instead, but it's got good qualities as a wheat beer. So I'm actually pretty happy with this one.
I am delightfully happy with this one. I'm always a big fan of Sierra Nevada. I hope this is one that sticks around. This is delicious. It's got just enough. It's got that pale ale, like West Coast pale ale vibe that you get from Sierra Nevada, but the nectarine is not too sweet, but it's a very prominent flavor. It's It's like if they made a light Sierra Nevada and then you dropped a slice of nectarine in it. It's really good.
Wow. Man, I can't wait to bring some of these home.
Oh, man.
So we were talking with our company about how we're going to get relocated in a couple of months. And I kind of started asking about sea shipment instead of an air shipment, because air shipments are regulated much more as to what you can put in them than a sea shipment. So if we end up going sea shipment, I'm going to pack an entire tote of every craft beer I can find and throw it in there so we can
if we can
have some Chinese beers.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to get the league incorrect, but did Paramount CBS for Paramount Plus just also pick up the Asian League? There's going to be some Asian football, but it sounded like a league, not like the Japanese Super or the Chinese Super League or like the Japanese Premier League. Is it
their version of the Champions League?
Maybe, and it was just one of those things that probably World Soccer Talk, I'm sure,
probably
were
did,
the ones that said something about it. It's been wild. CBS has just been, and Paramount, I guess Paramount Plus, they've just been gobbling up stuff. Right? They're going to do. Are they doing the Liga? I mean, it's just wild. Like they've got so much stuff moving forward for the next few years. That might actually be ESPN that's got the Liga, but.
So they picked up the Asian Football Confederation.
But okay.
So it sounds like their version of Champions League, right?
Yeah, it's basically the Asia Club. Asian Club Cup, which is essentially their version of the Champions League.
It is an enormous amount of stuff that they've been picking up. ESPN has also been picking up. I think ESPN got or Paramount Plus poaches Liga Serie A from ESPN Plus, but I think maybe ESPN Plus got La Liga. I don't know. It's wild. I mean, the whole streaming market for soccer, and they're clear. There is like we could probably do a whole episode on this. Maybe we could even talk to the guy from World Soccer Talk at some point again. But like the soccer fans seem to be totally down with streaming in a way that the other sports are not, or like eventually probably will be, but like that market attacking from the streaming side has seemed to be so successful for people, and it's just growing. I mean,
because a lot of people have cut the cord, and with blackout games and a lot of cable companies not showing the sports or saying that it's on in their alternate channels or anything like that, people are going, well, the hell with you. I can get ESPN Plus, which shows every Bundesliga game, every League Cup game, every championship game, every MLS game, and boom, that's three of my leagues right there. I can go over to...
And if you're a Premier League fan, being able to have access easily to the NBC, Championship League is great, because that always pairs into what's going to be happening in the Premier League or teams that you may have looked at in the Premier League or in that league now.
And it's literally happening today, which we will talk about.
Oh, yes.
So real quick, just doing a little homework on the Asian Football Confederation. It's not like their Champions League, because they have the Asian Champions League already. This is their version of CONCACAF.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And like CONMEBOL and UEFA, that kind of stuff.
My favorite thing that I do with sprint streaming soccer, the proliferation of it that I didn't expect, is like now if I ever have that, I'm just going to throw something on. I don't know really what to watch. I'm going to do some stuff, whatever. The ability to go, because there's so many leagues that you can't watch them all live at the same time. Obviously, you're like, I didn't catch anything from the Bundesliga today, so let me go. This Dortmund game, I'll put this on now, or what? Like the ability to do that is so awesome. And just if you really want to have soccer playing 24/7 in your place.
Well, I know this might be slightly out of order, but since we're covering kind of the world right now, do we want to cover the La Liga's roundup first real quick?
That's probably not a terrible idea. Make sure because we can.
Because we usually go through it fast.
Let's keep it quick, and that way we can jump into the Premier League.
Correct. And spend a little bit more time on that, and then with our picks and
that's a really good
moments
idea.
Of the year and all that.
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
You're a work in progress here.
Good. You get gold star for the day.
Hey, thank you so much.
Actually, you get 2 because the content you sent out is very good too.
Thank you. All right. Well, this is the LigA's roundup, and the season review of the other major leagues throughout Europe. And we'll first start in Germany. Surprise, surprise. Bayern Munich finished the German Bundesliga in first once again.
I would never have thought that could ever happen.
This is their 31st overall and 9th in a row. That's pretty crazy.
Jeez, man.
However, they weren't in the Super League. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, they weren't in the Super League. Well, I think the 51% rule or whatever really changed things in Germany, where most of the clubs, and it actually may not include Bayern, are 51% owned by the community. And
I think it includes all teams. I think it has to be.
No, there's a couple of teams that were got in under an old clause that weren't that way. But they pretty much, it's only a 1 or 2, and because of that, they follow what everybody else is doing. I'm not saying Bayern's one of them. I'd have to look that up. But there were a couple that that wasn't the case. But
I thought Bayern were a part of it as well as Dortmund. I thought it was a few smaller clubs, but
they probably are. I really enjoy the Bundesliga, which is weird because on the surface of what you just said, it sounds like a major complaint. 31st, victory and 9th in a row for the season for Bundesliga, but it's still a really fun league to watch. I mean, it's just a different style of play. It's open, a lot of scoring. It's a fun league.
And it wasn't until the end, really, until Bayern were nailed on to kind of win it, because it was a good little battle up there.
It's a good run, yeah.
Ultimately, Bayern's success came on the back of the tremendous goal scorer Robert Lewandowski, who broke a Bundesliga record in the final game of the year with his 41st goal of the season, while doing so in 29 matches.
We're going to talk about the Golden Boot winner for Premier League. They got 22.
Yes, 41 goals. This was a Bundesliga record held by Gerard.
And to be clear,
Müller.
Bundesliga, not their other games they played. This is just in the Bundesliga.
Just in the Bundesliga. 41 goals, just not in Champions League, not in the DFB Pokal. Nope. This is in the Bundesliga. It's a 50-year record that has been held since 1971-1972 season.
Ron, I feel like you had to take a quick pee-break, so you ran away. So I'm telling you that we are jumping into doing a quick wrap-up of the LigA's roundup before we get into Premier League.
Gotcha.
So how much did I miss all of a sudden?
So
he's like, wow, that pod went quick.
They burned through the Premier League already on the LigA's. Now we're going to do this backwards today because obviously I think we're going to dive more into Premier League.
Right. I'm just taking pictures of the beer.
Oh, sure.
Of course, that's what he's doing.
Call it. Yeah.
Scallywag.
You just relax.
Anyways, however, it was not Robert Lewandowski that won the Bundesliga Player of the Season award. That went to the Norwegian phenom Erling Haaland of Dortmund. Now, while you can't really blame Haaland, as much as he was outstanding for Borussia Dortmund, they finished third in the table, and Haaland himself had 27 goals in 28 matches, so a pretty good comparison there. But when you get 41 goals in 29 matches, that's plus one a goal in all of your games for Robert Lewandowski. This is about a goal a game for Haaland. There's something to be said for how does that. Listen, I'm a Dortmund fan. I love Haaland. The kid is one of the best in the world and so fun to watch and does it with such spirit. But I do think that's a little odd that Lewandowski doesn't get Player of the Year.
Do you think, to give it some comparison, this is a Sergio Aguero effect? What I mean by that, at this point, up through the Premier League, you just expect Aguero is going to be great and score, like getting 20. If he gets 20 goals, you don't even bat an eye at it, right? Is this a thing where Lewandowski, even though it's a crazy record, does Holland get this because everyone just expects Lewandowski to be ridiculous?
Oh, I'm sure. I
so
think
you almost don't get the props you ought to because
and that's kind of the story of Lewandowski's career thus far. Doesn't quite get the ultimate props that he probably deserves in terms of his goal scoring record and prowess that he has.
Like, why do we talk about?
He's one of the best in the world.
We talk about Messi and Ronaldo way more than we talk about Lewandowski. And now Lewandowski does get a lot of talk.
I don't think he's up there in that echelon. I think those two are up there in their own echelon. You might be able to put in Neymar and Mbappe up there, but for me, that's probably a notch down from.
But didn't Lewandowski both outscore Messi and Ronaldo this year?
Oh yeah, he outscored
with
everybody. I think he led Europe too, if I'm not mistaken. Right. But just kind of weird that he didn't get the Player of the Season award when he broke that his team got first and yada yada yada. I mean, Holland's fantastic, but just kind of odd.
Who had more assists?
I believe that I'm not quite sure on that, to be honest with you.
Well, let's go back.
The other reason I think, and I haven't looked at the stats on this, but I feel like Haaland takes it because of the play he does off the ball.
Hey, and, Ron, he's not listening to this podcast. He's not going to sign with Chelsea. You can just stop.
Damn it.
That's true.
Hey,
you're not trying to sell him at this point.
A guy can dream, okay?
Neither were in the top 10 of assists in the Bundesliga. Lewandowski would have gotten 7 assists, and Haaland would have gotten 6. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Do we think that a Premier League team is going to snag him, or just no?
No, I don't think he goes anywhere this season. I think he goes somewhere next season. Also, who can afford him at this point?
Bingo. Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? I'll save that. We're going to get to Premier League in a second, right? I think that is a point to talk about when looking at next year.
And to cap out the Bundesliga, RB Leipzig finished second, 13 points behind Bayern, while VfL Wolfsburg rounded out the top 4 in the Bundesliga.
It's more fun to say that.
Moving over to La Liga, it was Madrid, Atletico Madrid, that capped off a fantastic domestic season, winning the La Liga title for the first time since the 2013-14 season.
I think this is the new era. I think because of bad behind-the-scenes stuff of Real Madrid and Barcelona, you could see Atletico being the team for quite some time.
Quite possibly. This all came on the back of their elder statesmen there, if you want to say so, Luis Suarez, along with Joao Felix and Jan Oblak, and of course head coach Diego Simeone, who took Atletico, and they outlasted the likes of Super League giants Real Madrid, who finished in second, just 2 points behind, and Barca, who finished in third, 7 points behind Atletico.
That's such a good point. It's crap like that could not be better for teams, for the Super League teams, for it to go that way. Oh my God. So great.
And if you remember, it was third place Barcelona who said that Luis Suarez was too old and let him go last season to crosstown semi-rivals in the summer. And boy, did Suarez not forget that whatsoever. And while he wasn't the top goal scorer in the league, it was Messi. He scored the game-winning goal that clinched the title for them in the final match of the season against, I'm going to probably butcher this, Volendal. His quotes after the game, you've listened to this pod long enough, or you've talked to me enough about soccer, you know I am not the biggest Chompers fan, and all of the stuff that he has gotten himself into over I don't rate him highly, but all of his quotes after they won the title, it was, you had to applaud him and go, good for him. Because being told by a club that you played a big part of and won a lot of stuff, and all of a sudden you're too old, you can't do it anymore. Go on.
You're not going to be
kind
in the
of
Super
across
League.
Town, and hey, look at me now, bitches.
Right.
Good for Bobby Chompers.
Good for him. Yep.
And, right, not technically Bobby Chompers. That's but Suarez chomps.
Correct.
Right.
And good luck for Barcelona and Real Madrid, the Super League teams, because they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're in financial trouble, and they are in trouble domestically, because there were some teams right behind them that were right on their heels, like Sevilla, Real Sociedad, and Real Betis that rounded out the top 6. And that league, unless some major changes happen, and what they're trying to do, they're going to be financially in a hard place here in short time.
Everything that you're talking about, though, is going to have serious repercussions across all of Europe when it comes to every club for their next year's financial, because they're going to look at a club that you would think could just take out loans against the house any day of the week, but see what happened to them. And I think it's going to make everyone more conservative, plus layering on the pandemic. I think it's going to be an interesting few months. Talk about tinfoil transfers. I don't think anything will sound tinfoil, because I think across Europe, anybody's for sale. Right.
It's who can buy them. But keep in mind, the Super League is not entirely dead. There are still 3 teams that are in that. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and as we move over to Serie A, Juventus is still in it.
Oh, man.
And it was not Juventus.
No.
They finished in 4th. Right. The Super League team Juventus finished in 4th in their own domestic league.
You love to see it, as the kids say.
Love it. But yet they're still in the Super League. However, all credit and praise should go to the real Inter, not Inter Miami. Inter Milan, who finished off an absolutely stellar and consistent season as they won their first Scudetto since 2009-2010, when Jose Mourinho was there.
And we
keep that name in mind here.
Oh, yeah.
There's more.
But there's more. While Romelu Lukaku finished second in scoring and in the scoring race with 24 goals behind Ronaldo, who scored 29. It wasn't just the Belgium striker who played a big part in Inter's emphatic winning season. It was a complete team effort with the likes of Martinez, Eriksen, Hakimi, Vidal, and Handanovic. That really it was a consistent marathon of just class from them all year, and how they dispatched teams left and right and didn't capitulate at the end like they have in years past was fantastic. However, despite taking Inter to its first league title in over 10 years, Antonio Conte just weeks later, actually yesterday, departs from Inter. So be curious to see who they get in there. I don't believe that has been named yet. However, he's not the only Serie A manager to depart, as club legend Andrea Pirlo was sacked by Juve, and a former manager was brought in.
Didn't everybody see that coming?
Well, yeah, especially when you get 4th in your own domestic league, despite winning the domestic cup. Yeah, you go. Yeah. And then also, yep. And then Simone Ingaze of Lazio also left. Lazio finished 6th on the year, with AC Milan finishing 2nd, Atalanta finishing 3rd, Juve obviously finishing 4th, and Napoli finished in 5th. Oh, remember that name I told you to remember? Jose Mourinho?
29th minute, 63rd minute, 74th minute.
Yes. Exactly. He returns to the Serie A next year.
What not craziness.
Not Juve, not AC Milan. No, he rejoins the 7th place Tottenham of the Italian League, AS Roma, on a multi-year deal.
That is such a great title, Tottenham of the Italian League, because
both Roma finished 7th and Tottenham finished 7th.
But also, yeah, I mean,
American
I think it's
owners.
really funny because you've got 2 Manchester United players that ran away from Jose to go play at Roma, and now they're stuck with him again.
Oh, 3. Oh, no, wait. Well, in Roma, but it was 3 former United players that won the title with Inter.
Yes, yeah, but no, yeah,
Lukaku,
the ones that,
Sanchez, and Darmian.
But the ones that ran away from Jose now have Jose again.
Surprise!
Yeah, well, welcome back,
Mkhitaryan.
I think Jose's going to do okay over there.
Does he get sacked before the end of next year's?
No, he's going to do okay, win like a championship or something, get very close, and then he's back in the Premier League, baby. 3 years, 2 years.
I think he'll survive his first year.
I don't think so. I think the wheels have come off, and there's going to be something amazing by, like, I'm going to say late December.
Really?
Okay.
So why? Why do you think?
Do I really need justification when it's Jose?
You know what, man? Look, here's
well, yes, only because he doesn't tend to burn it out that fast.
It's
right.
It's Roma.
Jose is the slow cooker. He is not.
In Toronto's point,
it's an air fryer.
He's become much more agitated in his older years, and I think that slow cooker is going to go into a fast burner.
Said,
he's going to scorch earth Roma in the matter of months when he's 13th in the table, hasn't had any money to spend, and has Mkhitaryan still on his team that hates his guts. He hates him, and it's just going to be a complete awesome mini documentary series worthy.
I think going to Roma, I mean, no offense to Roma, they're a well-loved team internationally even. I just think there's a little less pressure here.
He would have been better going to Torino. There's no pressure there.
Well,
if you could get them in the top half of the table,
that's two below.
God in that town.
That's two below him, right? There's less pressure.
Right.
Roma, if he can end next season at 6th or 5th, that's an improvement, right? I don't know. I could see him
from 7th, yeah.
But I'm saying I think there's a lot less pressure in this situation. I mean,
he needs to get into Champions League minimum next year.
Yeah.
Maybe Super League.
I can't believe Ron and Blake have more faith in Jose than Ferris does right now. That's a table flip.
Right. All right, finally,
hey, it's that kind of year.
Exactly. Finally, we will end the LigA's Roundup season review with the Uber Eats. Man, this new sponsorship of French League One is absolutely brilliant, as it was Lille. Yes, Lille, who finished top of the table, just 1 point above the evil empire of Paris Saint-Germain. AS Monaco finished 3rd, Lyon finished in 4th, followed by Marseille in 5th, and Stade Reims in 6th. This is Lille's first league title since 2010-2011. With a tied for 4th place top scorer in Burak Yilmaz, and he scored 16 goals, and then another tied for 4th place assist leader in Jonathan Bamba. This Lille team consistently Uber ate the out of the league week in and week out to hopefully earn them a place next to Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart on the next epic commercial from Uber Eats.
So PSG just does miss out. Who's their manager?
Pochettino.
So, not for nothing, but I'm glad we flip-flop because, boy, this is a good segue into our Premier League wrap-up / Premier League looking ahead a bit.
Right.
Obviously, word is on the street that Tottenham are talking to Poch to come back.
What a
dumpster fire Tottenham is. Dumpster fire.
I have to say, and I know I'm wearing an Arsenal kit right now, so, I don't look all that unbiased, but if I was coaching PSG, I mean, some of the top of the top, Evil Empire, you say what you want, but they produce. And just by a point, missed winning the league. Why would I go back to Tottenham?
They missed winning the league. This is their first, they've won everything in the past. They won the league in
Great.
October.
So let me
last
reverse
year.
this then. So Pochettino
he came into the helm and couldn't get them over, and that he
hold on now.
That they crashed out of the Champions League once again in the semifinals.
I'm saying
nothing there.
If I'm Pochettino, why do I leave? Because maybe I think I can. All I need is 2 points, and I win the league next year. I'm saying you're Tottenham, and what you just said. Why are you asking him back? For Poch, I don't know why he would. I would stay in Paris and enjoy the food and weather and coach a historic team. Why would Tottenham want a guy back who, as you just said, these dudes have been owning France in, 1 year? And look, because it maybe just bad luck for Poch, I don't know. But there's Poch again without any silverware.
Well, and going back to a Tottenham team, possibly without Sir Harry of Kane.
Right. So, but with the rest of the players, the ones that you did poorly with, for the most part, they have not changed much. Remember, that was a big point of contention the last 2 years. We're like, man, the transfer windows, they didn't really do a lot. So
I don't know.
This,
go over to Germany. Go over and have fun in Germany.
It's
isn't there a few clubs I know?
It's weird, man.
Who's taken over?
Yeah, but I still say but I think
over Bayern next year.
You're still looking at it from
Jesse Marsh. No,
the team's point of view. I'm still saying from Poch's. I would just stay. I mean, unless Tottenham's like, here's a 4-year contract and a ridiculous amount of money, which would be hysterical. Especially if they dropped enough money that it hurt their transfer. When that's a mess. I would just stay for the prospect of working with Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart in the next Uber Eats commercial for your league.
I don't think anybody. I think everyone associated with the Tottenham club should just go, and no one go back. The club is obviously cursed.
Alex Morgan didn't even want to stay at Tottenham.
They can't win, and if Jose Mourinho can't help them win or sniff a title, it's hopeless.
Or a trophy.
Yeah,
it's
any sort of silverware.
Hopeless.
Hey, but they got a cool stadium.
They do have a cool stadium. Boy, they got a lot of work to do. So that was excellent work on the Liga roundup there, Ferris.
Thank you, sir.
Which I think moves us into the Premier League wrap up. Or
what a crazy season.
Depending on how you look at it. It was. Like I said, I'm excited to put an end to the season, the year, as I think most folks are. I mean, Ferris, you've got some good questions you've asked us that we've done for every Premier League wrap up. So, I mean, I won't go into too much depth, because if we do, we'll start to probably go into some of our top moments and stuff like that. But what a just weird year. No fans.
Well, not entirely.
Right, but I mean, 99.9% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Man City wins, and they're good, and they make some good moves to ensure that they win. But it's not the commanding 99 points from a few years ago or anything like that. Like it's and again, not a knock. But it almost feels like the average.
They were going to win for a while.
But it almost looks like the average for the whole league dropped. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if 14 more points or 15 more points, and or they're back at 99 points. But if you kind of look at the entire top half of the table, almost everybody scooched back by about that percentage. It feels
but think about it. They went through a disjointed COVID season last year. Had to quickly, within a month,
quick turnaround, and we're back playing.
I mean, those are probably some tired legs. Now, a lot of these the players are going to go off to the Euros, but it was a quick turnaround and it had to be scrunched, because it's not like last year where the season ended in July or August.
Yeah.
They started up in September, that then they got until July or August of this season. No, it had to be on a normal Premier League timeline, which ended in May, to get them caught back up to a regular format of a season for the Euros and the World Cup and so on and so forth. So there were
fixtures,
more midweek games than I think we've ever seen.
So
there were more random games. It was just
our normal holiday festive fixture schedule actually felt like it happened about 4 or 5 different times.
Oh yeah.
Trying to make up. So all those things I think start to shave off points from clubs, and you kind of
fans in the stadium as well kind of evens the playing field a bit.
Yeah, you get the season that we ended up getting, I think, out of it. So so there you go. So let's get this rolling. How do you want to start this off, keeper of the content?
I just think we kind of hit like the talking points. I don't think we really need to go into much about Man City or United. They were the only two clubs up in that top 10, essentially, that the last game of the season didn't really matter for them because they were already nailed on as number 1 and 2. Both had great years. City kind of propelled themselves shortly after the new year and got that outstanding lead. You thought they were going to wrap up the title weeks in advance. It ended up coming down to just the last few games, but I don't think there was any doubt in anybody's mind that they were going to win. And it was mainly the talk of 3 through
8, to be honest. Yeah.
That really was the main talking point towards the end of the year.
Watching Goal Rush was a blast because they kept a tracker, a live table on the right-hand side, streaming on Peacock. And just watching that thing around the last third of all the matches, you're just like, holy cow, this is, great. It's fun, because it went all over the place, and there was some cool stuff to come out of it. West Ham pulling off what they did, huge. I don't think any of us picked them for a Leicester-ish prediction.
No. In fact, I think when we get there, I think some people had them going down this year.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it was a ton of fun on that final day. That's for sure.
Well, one thing we can go over is that the 3 relegated teams, Fulham, see you later. West Bromwich Albion, see you later.
Big Sam, his first time being sacked with the club. Or, no, I'm sorry, being relegated with the club.
Yeah. And Sheffield United.
Oh, jeez.
Billy Sharp, see you later.
You know what? Play him more and maybe you'd stay up.
True story. So those
Sheffield
3 drop. The Sheffield United with a appalling minus 43 goal differential. West Bromwich Albion right next to them with a negative 41 goal differential. Ooh,
what's weird is Sheffield United weren't even the worst of goals against, though. There were about 4 or 5 other clubs that were worse, and yet they still had a minus 43, which means they didn't score any. They had the lowest scoring in the league.
And last year, they were like the Cinderella story.
Yeah. And do you know who their player of the season was, for a bit of irony?
No.
Sheffield United?
Yeah.
No, who was it?
Their striker, McGoldrick. I'm sorry, that's...
Who?
You only scored 20 goals all season. And
McGoldrick got 5.
And David McGoldrick is... Yeah. And he's your player of the
seriously,
season?
Do you know how many he got for the season?
It's not like he kept you up at all for the season. For this season alone, stand by.
That would be funny to know if like 19 of the 20.
He got 8. So just about half of theirs, I guess, but that means nothing. You're last place and you're still going down.
Yeah, but he is their player of the season.
Ramsdale should have been.
Could you imagine if he didn't net a bunch of those?
Oh, geez.
Minus
50?
What, 51? Well, but it should have been Ramsdale. He kept him in half the games with not the worst goals against, and he just got a call up to England. Now, he probably won't make the Euro squad for England. He's on the provisional 30-some man squad, but for me, that's my player of the season if I'm Sheffield, not a striker who scored 8 all year that was nowhere near the tops of the goal-scoring league, and when you only scored 20 in your last place, that doesn't...
Well,
Well, I guess it depends how you want to define your player of the season, right? And the interesting thing is that every club kind of has their own way to define that, but generally it's your top scorers.
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea did the same thing. Mason Mount got player of the season for Chelsea. And
he wasn't your top scorer.
While he was good, I think N'Golo Kante should have taken that.
Yes.
Right. But he totally that's agree. An interesting point, though. If Mason Mount got it, he wasn't the top scorer. Do you know who was?
Right.
For Chelsea?
Ziyech.
No.
Havertz.
No.
Nope.
All penalties.
Oh, really?
Jorginho had the most goals in
That's
the Premier
funny.
League, all of which
All
came off
PKs.
penalties.
And you know what? To be honest, that guy. I still don't like him.
Jorginho?
Still don't like him.
Oh, you don't like him because he kind of pushed Conte to different positions under different managers.
And he's
Which
not
I don't
that
blame him.
good.
I don't
He
blame
is
you.
not
I'm
that
right there
good
with
a
you.
midfielder.
I'm right there with you. And it's funny how Tuchel comes in and goes, "Hey Conte, why don't you actually play the position that you won a Premier League title with
Right.
Leicester, and you're actually like one of the best in the world at. Let's play you there." Oh, now look what happens. It's the FA Cup final, Champions League final. We win games. We get in the top 4. It's mind-boggling that 3 assholes in Orlando, well, 2 in Orlando, and 1 in China can figure that out. And Frankie Lampard can't figure that out.
Right.
And whoever the schmobag was before that smoked a pack a day.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Piss off.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
not sorry. Oh, God.
Dude, if you go back for the past, 2 years of podcasts, I've been saying, stop with Jorginho. He's not that good.
Well, apparently he loves himself a kick from the penalty spot because he was your leading goal scorer with 7.
Yeah, to be honest, that is a little bit sad.
Just to go
My
back
point exactly.
To the relegation teams you were talking about, it was a disappointing thing because in the last 2 to 3 matches, we have been spoiled more recently out of a really fun struggle of someone in that 18th spot with the ability to leap into 17th and save their season. And we did not get that at all. That being said,
we almost got it. However, the mean men in Arsenal screwed them with that. What was the game? It was an offsides goal, was what he was saying. It tied. God, it was like 3 games left, 4 games left, 5 games left, somewhere in there. And it was it Saka that scored late, like 92nd plus to make it 1-1, but Scotty Parker was all over it saying he was offsides or the goalkeeper or somebody was offsides that was in the vision of the goalkeeper. I think they got screwed on that call. And his point and why he was so mad was, you just robbed us of 2 points that would have kept us alive another week to possibly get out of this. And we'll get to like the sackings and stuff, but that Scotty Parker still has a job tells a lot about what he's done for that club and the passion that he has for that club. And I think they'll be just fine in
I think that they figure he's the best option to
championship.
try and get back up after this is said and done.
It's very possible. Very possible.
Should we use this to move on to, or I'll tell you what, we just talked about the bottom 3. Do we want to mention before we move on to our moments and looking at the season, like who the 3 teams coming up are going to be so far?
Yeah, it's actually looking very interesting for the 3rd team as that game is currently live. But Norwich City finished, they tore apart that league, so we will see Norwich City back in the Premier League. They finished on 97 points. We will also see Troy Deeney and 7 managers in the course of 12 months in Watford returning to the Premier League on 91 points. And then currently, in the 67th minute, Brentford is beating Swansea City 2-0, and Swansea just had a guy sent off with a red card.
Yes.
Well,
So
Brentford.
we could be seeing Brentford if the result holds, and we might know by the end of the
which
pod.
is cool because that's not a team we've seen in quite some time.
Mm-hmm. And Brentford defeated Bournemouth in their promotion playoffs 3-2 on aggregate, and Swansea City defeated Barnsley, Daryl DK's Barnsley, in the promotion league playoff 2-1 on aggregate. And I was scratching my head at that one because the second leg of that, Barnsley was down a goal. They were down 1-0 on aggregate, and DK didn't get the start. Yet he was their player of the month for the last month of the season and scored like 8 goals in 10 games or something. And you start off on the bench. Barnsley do not deserve to be in the Premier League based on the stupidity of not putting him in and playing him the entire game.
I don't think you're wrong.
that doesn't make much sense.
It's mind-boggling to me. He's your player of the season for the last month. Scored like a crap ton of goals, helped to really get you in this position because of his goals.
Right.
And then when you need a goal in the second leg, he comes in the 67th. No, you deserve not to go up.
But
I agree with you.
Having Brentford roll in will be fun if we get because I don't know when the last time they were in the top flight. But it's been a bit.
It is, well, because remember they lost out barely to Fulham last year in this exact game, in the exact promotion playoff game, the most expensive game in the world. That was,
I will say this, man. Burnley, Brighton Hove are so lucky that the bottom three clubs really stunk it up this year. Because I feel like if they don't do something, we keep picking them, I know. I don't see how those guys survive another season or two.
I don't know.
There's so much that'll happen between now and then.
No, I know, but they've just been very lucky that a lot of like the.
But they've been teetering for a bit, so they're going to have to make some changes and bring in some good players. I think Brighton Hove, they stuck to a formation that doesn't seem to really benefit their style of play, and it was maybe 2/3 of the way through the season that they just couldn't do anything with it. It seems like they messed with the formation so much and then decided we're going to stick with this one, and then.
But what's so impressive from them? Only a -6 goal difference.
I was going to say that for the bottom
40 goals for and
down.
46 against. That's the best from anybody out of the top 10. Besides
actually, that's the best from 11 down, with the exception of Aston Villa is the only one who's got a positive goal differential there.
That's crazy, and yet they were still in 16th.
Yeah. And very lucky that, what was it, Norwich that was so bottom last year?
Yeah.
Or they've got they're just getting lucky that some of the teams who have been promoted have just really not done well.
And you look at Southampton, remember they were in second a few months into the Premier League. Or no, I'm sorry, they were in first. They led the league there for a bit. They ended in 15th, just one place above Brighton and Hove.
Their league to lose.
Crystal Palace finished above them.
Palace. Should we move on from our to our traditions like we did on our very first pod?
Well, hold on. No. We're not going to gloss over the fact that Tottenham finished above Arsenal this year.
Well,
on the last day.
None of that. Hold on. None of that factors into our pods. I thought those things might factor into.
Okay.
Right. This, but okay. You know what? Sure. We can do that real fast. I think I sent you this to ask Phil. Is he torn between really wanting to be above Arsenal or God? I know it's nice to be in Europe, but would it just be great to only have to focus on the Premier League and FA Cup next year and not worry about traveling to parts unknown in the Europa?
You know what? I don't know, because every time I look at Arsenal, I'm not a fan. They infuriate me. They are the biggest dumpster fire in the top 10. By far, in my opinion, they are the biggest dumpster fire in the top 10.
Okay,
you have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who signed a multi-year deal in the offseason and then went, screw it, I'm not going to play. And barely screwed. Arteta cannot set one lineup that is any bit consistent from one week to the next. You have a goalie that wears short sleeves. There's always an issue with that. You have Partey, who comes there and is continually hurt. How's he feeling right now? His Atletico club just won the league.
I do think
Spain,
I would disagree.
And he finished 8th in the Premier League.
I disagree on your lineup comment, because I think
you couldn't even make the Europa Conference League.
Yeah. You again. I don't
That's
know.
Bad.
For me, I don't.
Arteta shouldn't have a job right now. I'm sorry, he shouldn't.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
there's no reason he should have a job right now.
I have a reason he should, but that's
and you guys wanted to be in the Super League? Piss off.
We should move on to our top moments because that's why I hadn't said anything. It's part of that.
Like
hey, look,
I want Arsenal to be good because it adds spice up into the top, top six.
If
God
I
Almighty, they're a dumpster
look
fire
at this season. You keep saying that. If I look at where we end off of this season, I feel we have more to look forward to than the Tottenham club above us does.
You're
next
high.
Year.
Man.
Tottenham, no. Tottenham,
you
might not be wrong, but
isn't this what he says every year? Oh, we're gonna have a great year next year because
I didn't say
this.
Yes.
I didn't say a great year.
It's a bigger dumpster fire.
I didn't say great
every
year. I didn't say great year.
Yes.
I said we have more to look forward to than the Spurs do. I did not say a great year.
Last year.
Every year you say that.
Said
every year
I said a great year. Well,
every year you say that, and the reason Arteta should not have a job. This is the worst point total. Wenger, in all of his years, never had a worse season.
Okay, well, I don't think you can expect someone to have Arsene Wenger's stats.
But Wenger had some pretty bad seasons, and you've not even had a point tally or in any sort of competition. That was the thing that's why Wenger got sacked. All he does is qualify for the Champions League.
All right. Well, we should
that means he was consistently in the top 4 year in and year out.
Should we move on to our top moments then?
Sure, why not?
Man, he really wants to.
He wants to. I was like, no, I'm not letting him get away with
it. He has some weird thing that he wants to say
this was
Arsenal's going to be better than Tottenham next year because of blah blah.
I will pull my 3 moments. I will pull second to first since it's kind of a segue. So every year we're going to go into our, we wrap up the Premier League. We do our 3 moments of the season. Trace Mementos. We do our best of the best goals, player of the season for the league, your best player from the club that you support for the season, and best game of the season. And then so we'll go into our predictions. So I will just go ahead and move on to moments of the season. Second half of the season for Arsenal. You're looking at me funny, and I was hoping you would.
100%.
You ready for the stat?
Go ahead.
Since Boxing Day, only Manchester City and Manchester United collected more points than Arsenal's 47. Furthermore, only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals than the 39 the Gunners shipped. Undoubted improvements moving forward. It's Moneyball, man. Moneyball. Look at these stats.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
The stat that I see is 8th.
Right.
8th with 13 losses.
Since Boxing Day, only Manchester City and Manchester United collected more points than Arsenal's 47. Furthermore, only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals than the 39 the Gunners shipped. Improvements. I'm just telling you, this gives me more to look forward to for next year than I think a Spurs fan has, who doesn't even have a manager right now.
Man,
you are delusional.
You know what? His indoctrination is complete.
Is that stat wrong?
You are an arsenologist.
Is that stat wrong?
It doesn't mean for you.
What means is 8th. You couldn't even get into the Europa Conference League, and you wanted to be in the Super.
You still can't. All of your players are still playing as individuals. Your coach and your front office are a complete shambles. You have nothing. Who cares about that stat? You can't put 2 feet together to put a ball in the back of the net and actually maintain.
We did because we scored more points than Man City and Manchester United since Boxing Day.
And you're in 8th. You're still in 8th.
Since Boxing Day, Man City won the league. They weren't even in first on Boxing Day, and they won the league. So that stat means because who the hell cares? Because they finish in first, and you guys finish in 8th.
Oh, man.
You're delusional, Blake.
What I'm saying is that means, with the exception of
fell and hit your head.
That means is, with the exception of Man City, y'all don't understand how numbers work. Since Man City and Man United, since Boxing Day, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester City, probably not West Ham United, and Hotspurs all dropped more than they should have.
It doesn't matter. The only stat that matters right now is that you finished in 8th.
That's it.
I think
That's it.
Well, here's this other stat. Since Boxing Day, only Manchester City and Manchester United collected more points than Arsenal's 47.
Look,
furthermore, only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals than the 39 Gunners shipped.
I would respect you way more if you just said, look, I know we're a dumpster fire, and I feel like we have a better thing to look forward to than Tottenham because of these things. Don't hide behind some bullshit stat.
We are not a dumpster fire. We are a smoking dumpster because the fire is slowly being put out.
Yeah, in 8.
By who and by what? By Kroenke pissing on the damn dumpster. That's what.
I think that's anybody but him. He's throwing lighter fluid in there while other people are peeing on it. I actually think is how that would go. I mean, look.
I love this. Illian left Chelsea to join Arsenal. Arsenal are in the Champions League final. Arsenal won't be playing in the UEFA Champions League next year. The quote from Illian when he signed on a free last year. When I talked to the manager, he told me why he needed me for 3 years. It was that he first wanted to qualify for the Champions League and win it by the time I left. How's that going? Because William's on his way out after 1 year.
Well, I mean, I would say how that's going, but I'd also say William didn't play very well. He didn't either in that time.
Who's signing him? The same person that signed David Luiz to another year extension.
Oh,
Dumpster
that's awesome.
Fire.
Yep. Agreed. Sorry, I'm totally with Ferris on this.
All right, well,
I love some of your players. I really do. Look, Tierney is going to be a captain for Arsenal for years. Look, Tierney is the best player you have on that squad. Smith Rowe, probably second best. Love Laka, and Saka is a wonderful young talent. Other than that, you gave away your best goaltender. Martinez was the best goaltender in the league this year, and you gave him away last year. He kept the wrong short sleeve goaltender.
Yeah, but the previous year, Leno had a good stats. That's at the time that decision was made. That's like the stats said that Leno was the right guy to go with.
Sure,
I'm just saying.
Dumpster fire.
No, it's not dumpster fire. Hey, look. Next year when Man United's 4th and on that last weekend squeezes into 5th because Arsenal moves into 4th, you can talk to me about it then.
I'm angry because I care, Blake.
I am not angry because I see the Moneyball picture here. Moneyball, y'all. Gonna play this like Moneyball.
Billy Bean ain't coming over to England anytime soon.
So how do we do this Trace Mementos? Is it all 3 of yours or do we bounce around?
All 3.
Just do all 3 because you need some sort of like redemption right now.
I am... Okay, I wrote these in a different order, but then I'm going to do them in. So that was my... If we're going to go 3, 2, 1, that was 3. For 2, fans' protest ended the Super League.
Oh, great one.
Yeah.
Great one. You know what? That moves a great one, Blake. Absolutely, 100%.
Because literally,
great one.
That had nothing... If just pure money capitalism had won, we'd have a Super League next year. The fans
fantastic one.
Made that stop. And yes, I mean the fans who showed up to protest, but also, man, the friggin' sometimes you get annoyed at the idea of keyboard warriors, but the people online, everything else, because at lockdowns in the UK, that's kind of the only way they could let it be known. But when they said, we are not buying a single piece of merch.
Yeah.
You hear people say that with other things, and you're like, whatever. They knew that this was going to like this.
You had people. I kid you not. There was, I think it was Horn that put something on online about this, and United should go to Newton Heath and could go back to it, and so on and so forth. And it was just like you had all of us responding of the clubs that we would now choose. Should Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, United all go to this like Super League? I kid you not when I was going to say, if that actually went forward, all of my United stuff will be packed up into a box and put away. And I would not support the club
and
going
that's
forward
how people,
if that actually went forward.
And that's how people absolutely felt. And boy, does Bayern Munich and Dortmund come out looking so good. Does the Bundesliga look good coming out of
and
this
PSG
situation?
to that extent?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. And PSG, yeah.
Because that was huge. And maybe they were thinking about it and they wanted to go late and see what temperature was, whatever. I don't care. It still worked out to their advantage.
That is a great call there, Blake.
So, and then my top one is also tied into this. The return of the fans.
Yeah.
The last day of Premier League actually felt like the first day of Premier League. To hear, even though it was only maybe 10,000 or whatever people in the stadium, like, it's wild how much better it made things. Sometimes you could really hear people too, because, you know, the lack of away fans and stuff. But the return of the fans, the last matches, talk about hope for the coming year, made me so excited. I mean, I think we're all kind of like, okay, I'm done. Moving forward, right? We were all like done with 2020, and then it kind of drug into 2021 too. But that feeling, seeing those fans out there, like, and the noise they made,
yep.
I'm so excited for next season, period.
Yep.
I can't wait to see full stadiums and people going bonkers.
Blake, those are, I'll go next. I'm going to copy 2 of those. I completely forgot almost that the Super League and all of that. I didn't forget about it, but like, yes, that to me is number 1 on my moment of the season. That was in the span of a week. You saw tremendous change based on the passion that people have for their clubs. This means so much to them that they don't want to see
people halted billions of dollars
be just all about. Yeah, just absolutely. Number
halted
1.
It. Yeah.
Number 2, fans. That was already on my list, 100%. Number 3, I went back and forth with, but what I ultimately landed on was how awesome a few weeks ago was it to see Alisson's goal.
Yeah.
And what he went through this past year, what Liverpool went through, and, you know, obviously I'm not the biggest Liverpool fan, but for him to lose his dad earlier in the season and come up, and essentially that goal got them back into the Champions League top 4 race. Great moment for him. And I think, you know, as much as I hate seeing them and wish that they weren't in the top 4, for him personally, that's a fantastic moment. And I think that kind of stands out a bit to me.
And at a time when money is going to be so tight coming out of this year, being able to secure a Champions League spot with some of those top players that Liverpool has is important.
Goaltender scored on one of those. Yeah. Like, you always see him come up.
Yeah. Had a great glancing header, too.
Yes. Always see him come up. And I don't think there's been a goal scored like that in the Premier League. And I don't even know what the stat was, but years. So a cool moment there.
All right. That's your trace?
Yep.
All right, Ron. I'm going to get another beer.
I had a feeling that we were going to have similar ones. So I did a few others just because I knew one was going to be the Super League, which for everything that, you know, Blake and Ferris, you guys just said, I concur 100%. That was such an awesome thing to watch, and how crazy it was, especially following it over here. But the interesting thing that happened just a couple of weeks ago is you had all of the UEFA League was, we're going to find these people and we're going to not let them join our competitions. And, you know, FIFA came out, everybody came out against the Super League for you know, obvious reasons. And then a couple of weeks later, UEFA announces formally the Europa Conference League. Now, there's some shady going on.
This is a good one, Ron.
UEFA's not a saint in this by any stretch.
You're throwing out a good one, Ron. This is a good one.
They are not a saint in this. They are just as corrupt as the next. And
what failed to be covered throughout this whole thing, and all the the dynamic was how bad this Super League is going to be and how it destroys football.
It's all about money. Yep.
It's that they are largely correct.
Mm-hmm.
But no one says UEFA's because UEFA is too.
Yeah, 100%. 100% they are. And at no point should anybody think that UEFA came out as the good guys or they're saints in this, because the clubs that started the the Super League were all clubs that were banging on UEFA's door saying, we can make more money from this tournament. This is the best tournament, club tournament in the world. We can make more. You need to do more. And they are correct. Because if the Super League, with these 11 clubs or 10, however many started it, can get JP Morgan and Chase, I think it was, to bankroll their league, you're telling me UEFA can't do that?
Right.
There's something wrong with that this organization saw that as somebody that could infuse money into this startup league, and UEFA with the iconic Champions League song and everything that you can't strike a deal like that, and you can't promote the game more, and you can't make the clubs that are continually in that tournament, because if you think about it, those clubs that started the Super League for the most part are continually in the tournament. Now, times were weird this year and have been in kind of years past, and the top 6 only 4 can make it in England, but okay, UEFA hasn't done enough. And that was kind of the argument to the clubs that wanted to join and start the Super League, was UEFA's not doing enough, so we'll do it on our own. Not a bad thought, but a bad execution on how you're going about doing it.
Right. So really, this was done for I think the result of this for those specific clubs was kind of to get the world to be aware that UEFA is not really doing enough. And I don't think they succeeded in that part, because the narrative is not talking about UEFA at all. And 2, I think those clubs have 2 good points. One is that during the pandemic, they could not have fans. So the amount of money all of these major teams have lost, all of the money that they have lost, there's no way to get back unless you make better TV deals. And the TV deals are not as good as they could be. And why this is a double-edged sword for fans. One, because that cost is going to be passed on to us to watch the games. So it'll be more difficult and more expensive for us to watch the games. It'll be bad for advertisers.
Do we even know
because advertisers are going to have to put up more money to have commercials during the game.
Do we know who's covering this, Ron? Speaking of, what's the conference league going to be on in the U.S.? Do we even know?
So no, I don't have that information
hold on.
yet.
I think there's a list of broadcasters. Let me see if it exists. For the United States, CBS, Turner, CBS. There we go.
Hosted by the Travel Channel.
So so it'll be the Paramount Plus thing again. But who cares? I mean, people already made fun of the Europa League. So to have this, why
add more leagues? It's not making it makes UEFA more, but it doesn't make the clubs anymore. Spruce up the 2 leagues that you have.
Because so when you say spruce up,
just fine, and
do you mean
European night in the Europa League and Botaspor is just as good as a Europa League night in the Bernabeu?
Yeah, it makes no difference.
You know, the other thing that's crazy about this is that the season plays July 8th through May 25th. You're playing during all the other tournaments.
So again, I just would like to point out the fact this is why. This is why I. Yes, it'd be nice to end above Tottenham. I didn't want that. I didn't want this because of what you're saying right now.
Yeah, right. I don't blame you, but
so teams are going to have to play more games in more leagues. They still have all the salary cap requirements and the player cap requirements. So the depth that they have for Europa League, Champions League, and theirs now goes to another league that they're going to be in. The schedule's screwed as it is. So now we're going to add another one in this mix. And it just doesn't make sense.
No,
this is just as much a money grab as the Super League was.
This would be a money grab too, but it would make more sense to just say, hey, whatever justification you use, leagues are getting better around the world, so we're going to increase the size of the Champions League even. Do you know what I mean? Or even just the regular Europe. There's got to be something to do here. I do have a thought, but I need Ferris. He's got his headphones off right now. I need him to hear this when it comes to this conference league. But I do think, like you said, what's the point? It just seems like fluff on top of fluff. It's like the Carabao Cup. We don't ever really talk about it. FA Cup is way
FA Cup.
Yeah.
Champions League, Europa League. So this new one.
Can I throw out a prediction for next year then? For this conference league? You know where I'm going. It's like,
yes, I do.
So what if the first silverware in years that Tottenham gets is this bull?
Love it. Yep. Love it.
Conference.
Love it.
And so people just they can't even enjoy it because people just make fun of it.
Right.
It would be hysterical if they won, because I feel like the first club, maybe a few years from now, but the first club that wins this, if it's a Premier League club, mind you, it would be like, lift it up. Could you guys cut the cameras off of us while we're doing it?
Just stop. Just stop with all the cups.
Because it's right now, if you told me, would you rather your team win the Community Shield or the Carabao Cup? I would rather that sounds like a bigger deal to me than this Europa Conference.
FA Cup and the Chupacabra Cup, you would rather win than this.
Well, FA Cup, no, I won't knock that. That's a cool tradition.
FA Cup's fantastic, and the League Cup is something to be said for the English leagues, and you can do it. Okay, fine. Stop there. Stop there in the domestic, and seemingly they have. But when we get to Europe, there's been 2 leagues. That's it. The UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Cup winners, which has changed to the Europa League. Fine, keep it. To add this Conference League doesn't do anything to the argument of the Super League clubs that you need to help us make more money. All it is making UEFA more.
So you actually bring up a really good point. With that. In a way, this Europa Conference League...
I'm sorry, by the way, Brentford will be in the Premier League next year.
Congratulations, Brentford.
I can't wait to do the fact-finding on them.
This Europa Conference League almost makes, like, every league has their own league cups, their equivalents to the Carabao Cups, the FA Cups. It's like Europe gave itself a League Cup or a Carabao Cup. You know what I mean? Kind of like, it's a very weird thing to tack on. If you see more injuries, I mean, what are you going to have in reality? Teams like Spurs, who might be competing to be competitive in the Premier League, are they just going to field their under 23s or something to this? Because, like, if you're a manager and you, like, have a Harry Kane who probably won't be there, like, break his ankle at a Europa Conference League, I mean,
people are going to be livid.
Yeah, because no one cares.
What does this do? Like, if you win this, what do you don't get into Champions League, I would assume. You get into the Europa League?
Hold for show.
Yeah, so I'm on their Wikipedia right now.
Same here.
The qualification is interesting. Nations that are ranked, so similar to UEFA Champions League qualification to the Europa Conference League, will be split into 2 paths: the Champions path and the League path.
Oh God, this is confusing.
Champions League, however, the Champions path will only be contested by teams which lost the qualifications for the Champions League group stage and consequently have been relegated directly into the UEFA Europa Conference League.
You know what it sounds like? What Blake was trying to tell us with the goals to this ratio after Boxing Day.
Since Boxing Day, only Manchester City and Manchester United
it's a dumpster fire.
Collected more points than Arsenal's 47. Furthermore, only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals than the 39 the Gunners shipped. Okay, I think that was the stat that you're looking for as to why next year is Arsenal's year, baby.
Maybe you'll get into the Europa Conference League next year and move up one place.
We're going to own it, man. Ron, Ferris, by the way, I texted you the link to this Wikipedia. You need to look at this thing Ron's looking at. This distribution is wild.
It is, yeah. It is wild.
It's 184 teams.
Who the hell's playing it? Oh my god! All right, let's move on.
Yeah, boy.
Ron, what was your other?
So my next one was after 17 months in charge, Jose is sacked.
Gone.
He gone.
Not just sacked. Now we know out of the Premier League entirely. Not even will he
and
get
why
to go
could
to another
Amazon
team?
Prime do the documentary this season, not last season?
Man, that would have been
Right?
so
Hopefully
much
that's
better.
the case. Hopefully they still did.
God. And then my last
if Amazon Prime did
happy-
one, I would hope it's Arsenal. Actually, I would love to see the mess that would be.
my last happy moment of the season, and this just brings a smile to my face.
Oh Lord.
Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspurs 6.
Ah, that's a great segue.
Oh, we've
Because-
been giving each other segues left and right.
Well,
The-
we are.
The Spurs' biggest win over United
Oh yeah.
since 1932.
Oh yeah. Now, the reason I say that's a segue is because I was thinking that would be my best game of the season, but I went, no. That's tied into another game a few hours later that day because Liverpool fans were laughing. Were laughing at United that they just got beat by Tottenham, which is a top 6 club, 6-1.
Yeah.
Now, there was an early red in that and blah, 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 but we got our butts spanked. Liverpool got beat, I believe, 7-2, was it?
Yep,
By Aston Villa
that's true.
a few hours later. And for me, those are really turning points of the season. Now, not my best game of the season in my eyes, but both those two games were, when I first thought of games of the year, both those came into mind.
Right.
But then I will fast forward to the 9-0 victory by Manchester United against Southampton. 9 goals to 0. I like that game. That's my best game.
That's the game of the season for you?
Well, for me, it is.
Oh,
I'm wearing a
lame.
United kit. Homer pick right here. Homer.
Lame.
But no, Ron, I don't disagree with you. That day was a crazy day.
Yeah. So those two things combined makes that a great moment in the season. So there's my tres momentos.
And yes, that game alone, when it ends, United's still in second, Liverpool's still in third, and Tottenham is playing in the Europa Conference League in 7th. So, not the worst. And Villa ended in 11th. So, you know what? If that game takes us to above all of them, I love it.
Don't be trying to justify your whole play
Listen,
against
at
Tottenham.
least I give legitimate facts that back in the table opposed to after Boxing Day, the fourth son of the third goal and the third whatever.
Those are legitimate
Get out of here.
facts.
Get
Those
out of here.
are facts.
And if VAR goals weren't taken into account, then we would do this, that, and the other. And by the way, don't let me forget that I'm not going to bring that up. Calling United out. United had zero. The coefficient of VAR goals against and whatever, United 0. Guess who led the
Fake
pack in that?
news.
Chelsea.
Fake news.
Chelsea.
Fake news.
And if
All right.
Arsenal's VARs had gone in their favor, 4th.
So what is your best games of the season?
Who's this moving to?
Either one of you. I just gave mine.
Go ahead, Blake.
Okay, so sorry, hold on. Is it best game of the season that we moved to? We didn't do best.
We kind of skipped because
We're out of order.
He's segued.
Gotcha.
We've been out of order this entire
Sorry.
pod.
No, I didn't segue.
So
You
we went
segued.
from best goal of this. We went from.
I capitalized.
So we did moments of the season. Now we're skipping to best games of the season.
Right.
Okay. My best match, I have some ties. This was really tough. Here it is. March 14th, Arsenal 2, Spurs 1.
There it is. Yep.
November 1st, Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Or December 26th, Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Or May 12th, Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. I can't
Still 8th.
decide
Last I checked.
which.
Still 8th. United
and you
still
guys just
second. And
losing to
Chelsea are
them.
still 4th.
Y'all just losing to them left and right. I don't know what to say about that. But there you go. I can't. I don't know. I got to pick what my favorites are.
God,
You're right. That's true. Every squirrel finds a nut.
Four nuts, apparently.
In 8th.
4 nuts, apparently. That's the tea.
Keep sipping that beer.
Still in 8th.
As the kids say.
Go on. Ron, what was your best game of the season?
My game of the season takes place on an auspicious day, October 18th. Among some freak events early in the season, the apparition of Tottenham putting in a title challenge under Jose Mourinho. Is it going to happen? Is it not? The swagger's back. Harry Kane, Son, just crushing life. And they come out against West Ham, all guns a-blazing. Harry Kane puts one in. Son puts one in. They're up 3-0 in the first 16 minutes.
Yep.
And it looks like Tottenham is going to skate on by. But there's one person who says, that's not happening. David Moyes says, since the lockdown, boys, we're a different team. Then comes a header from Fabian Balbuena, if that's how you say his name. Then Davinson Sanchez puts a goal in his own net. A costly miss from Gareth Bale. A lashing from Manuel Lanzini in the 94th minute to equalize West Ham 3, Tottenham 3 in a crazy shootout.
Yep, that
in October.
Mourinho capitulation to no other.
Add one to that. Manager of the year for Premier League?
You know what? I don't disagree with that. I will go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's
I'd probably subscribe to that.
Punching above belt and getting into Europe like that. Yeah.
I would agree with you. At first, you probably thought it would be Brendan Rodgers, but yeah, they won the FA Cup, glorious FA Cup goal and win, but they lost it on the last day.
If they
capitulated big time, so
if
they
Leicester
only placed
had stayed in
one
fourth
position and 1 point above West Ham, which Leicester, okay, you can see up there, but West Ham.
Yeah, if Leicester had stayed in the top 4, I would agree with you. I would go Brendan Rodgers, but I think Moyes edges him out.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you on that one, Blake. Best player of the season for both the league and
I forgot one. I need to throw in one more moment of the year, not the season. Do you guys know
soundboard.
Albert
Einstein?
No, Albert Moreno from Liverpool, but plays for Villa.
Get out of here.
What after the game win?
For all the fans of Liverpool, vamos, Man United, get out, Man United, get out.
Oh man, that makes me happy.
Brilliant.
You know that I honestly I was not mad after that. When you go full time, extra time, pens, both teams are 10 for 10 on their penalties, and we're going to the keepers to take pens. That's just hey, it's anybody's game at this point. It's an epic final.
True story.
So whatever. Thank you, Blake, for reminding me of that. I guess that's payback for remembering that Tottenham, the dumpster fire that they are, and sacked Mourinho, still finished above you in the league, and yet we're still in the Champions League, so that game was irrelevant for us. And
irrelevant, but still, there you go, still chasing.
Best player of the season for the what you thought was the season and your club if it's different. I can go first if you want.
Since Boxing Day, only Manchester City.
For me, the player of the season has to be Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan just propelled City into that first place when De Bruyne was hurt, and he He scored goals. He assisted. He was everywhere. He was the player that we saw at Dortmund years ago, but not at Dortmund, and yet won the Premier League essentially for them. So I know Ruben Diaz, their defender, was called Player of the Year, but for me it was Gundogan. Best player for your club, without doubt, has to go to Bruno.
Oh,
Dude
yeah,
just pulls strings.
That.
And you know what? I could go Rashford. The dude fed every kid in England. Just met with Barack Obama. Like at 23, he's done more than anybody listening to this pod has ever done in their lifetime.
As a straight up
combined,
citizen,
all of us combined,
citizen of
more.
humanity. Yes, he's been a pretty awesome dude.
God, what a brilliant kid.
Makes me. I wish him a long, good career at Man United, so he can like continue to be awesome and have a spotlight for that kind of stuff. He's a good dude.
You know what? This year's been so weird. It could completely be flipped on its head, and he can be the president of the Super League in like 2 years' time. You're like, what the hell? How did he get there all of a sudden? How about for you guys?
Okay, so this is a top player. Hold on, let me get my best players. I found this a tough one. Annoyingly, they're both from Man City. I think it's easy to say one because Man City was in trouble on their back line that they needed to shore up. But there's someone who is so consistently good that I think sometimes might get overlooked. And that's
David Luiz?
No, that's Kevin De Bruyne, in the sense that I was going to say Ruben Diaz because he was a great signing that basically helped them clinch the title by filling out his work for Man City. But Kevin De Bruyne was just excellent this year.
Yeah.
And consistent and so
when he was playing, he was
Yeah.
just awesome.
And for your club?
Oh, sorry. And for my I think it's an easy one. Boyako. Hold on, I always say this wrong. Bukayo Buyakasha Saka is a player of the season. I mean,
that's what's wrong with Arsenal right there.
Dude's 19 and he played every position and played them well.
And that's what's wrong with Arsenal right there.
Hey, dude.
Point being, Arsenal have always liked flashy, brilliant players.
Hey, man.
I'm
just consider
Kieran Tierney, who that guy puts blood, sweat, and tears in that.
Sure.
You could even go like Rob Holding. 75-year-old man Rob Holding actually played pretty damn good this year for you guys. But Saka is a talent, so
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But overall, I think you dropped
in the world. He signed a contract, and he doesn't score after he signs a contract.
I think you drop Saka, and I think it's way out of eighth place. It's way out of eighth place. I think it's.
I just we're not going to go on, but I disagree with you on that because for me it starts with your back line, which you guys haven't had a consistent back line in ages.
You can disagree, but you're crazy.
Really?
Wait, you think you have a good defense?
No. Saying that you disagree with my Saka choice.
Oh.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, that's what's wrong with Arsenal, because you don't have a consistent back line. It's all flash up front and don't really produce that much. And you got to add more tyrannies to that back line, in my opinion. But
I mean, again, but I still don't know why it does make Saka one of the best players for the year for them.
Ron?
That was uncomfortable.
Oh, he can make it uncomfortable. I mean, look, again, we'll see.
So my pick we kind of touched on when Ferris was talking. I picked mine not because of their actions on the field, but off the field. And that would be Marcus Rashford. For two things. One, what he did for people during the pandemic was just absolute class, and what a good way to use your position to help other people. But on the other side of the same coin, I applaud his everything he's doing to bring out to bring awareness to racism in football. I remember scrolling through his Twitter right after. So United lost in a draw to, what is it?
Sheffield.
Dansk? No,
Sheffield.
I think it was Dansk, because it was a foreign game. You lost on penalties, and I really thought it was like, yes,
In pens?
and there was. I remember the tweet, and it was 20 minutes after he's in the locker room. And he wrote, quote, "at least 70 racial slurs on my social media accounts so far." And it's 20 minutes after he walks into the locker room.
Yeah.
And for everything he's doing to stand up to it and bring it to the media forefront globally, I think he should be applauded for that. And that makes him my best player of the year for the league.
Excellent choice.
Excellent choice.
And then my best player, for Chelsea, I'm pretty sure you both know who I'm going to pick. It's N'Golo Kante.
Yep. And should have been your player of the year for the team.
Should have been Giroud,
Yeah.
just because he looks fantastic.
Always sexy.
It's an automatic shoe every time.
So, yeah, there you go. That's my best player.
I want to. I think those are great choices. See, I agree with you, whereas Ferris is still being a jerk and disagreeing with me, even though I had to do some looking around just quickly. Picking Saka is super not a controversial decision.
I don't think
In
it's
fact,
controversial, but all I'm saying is that's what's wrong with Arsenal's fans. That's it.
Places bounce between Saka and Smith Rowe as the player
Smith
of the
Rowe
season.
for me could have been up there more. Like, I just think Arsenal are looking in the complete wrong areas.
Well,
right
you know
now.
what? When you can beat them, when you can beat them
re-signed
next
a
year,
defender
you
last
can
year,
talk
which
about
was-
it. But did you beat them this year? No, you didn't.
I don't care. We still finished second.
Didn't win.
We're still in the Champions
didn't beat
League next
Arsenal.
year. You're not. We
That's
still
a stat.
made it to the Europa
It's a stat. that
final.
Don't lie.
You guys didn't. You guys, we lost to Villarreal the same way. Not Villarreal. Yeah. We lost to them the same way. That
I
you
can't
guys
wait till we do one of these and we're all in the same room again.
did. Oh, it's great. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
I really miss that.
Can't wait.
Because I won't lie. Although it is fun to kind of, I will say this: the advantage now is like, all right, mother, I'm gonna look up on this because you can't see what I'm doing. I'm gonna look up these stats on the computer real quick. Like, how about them apples? I don't want to glance over Ron's final choice though. N'Golo Kante, I do not understand why the club didn't even say he was player of the year. That dude's amazing. He has been amazing for his whole career.
It's because he doesn't score goals.
He's
And
quietly.
he's the forgotten man. And
Yes.
but dude's a workhorse. He's
one
great.
of my favorite terms about someone who is great on a team, and this is business, sports, whatever you want to call it. He is quietly excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you do not get into the Champions League without N'Golo Kante. I think that's a kind of player that you yank out and the whole thing falls apart.
Yep. France does not win their World Cup a few years ago without N'Golo Kante.
Absolutely.
That's
He's fantastic.
true.
Leicester City does not win their Premier League without
He's
N'Golo Kante.
a player
Right.
that doesn't score and so doesn't get in the news a lot, that any fan of any club would love to have.
He covers every blade of grass between box to box.
There are
It's
those rare
insane.
players that it doesn't matter where they go, they make the club better. He is one of those people.
Yep.
Well,
I
shall we
love
say
him,
how we did?
and I kind of hate that I love him.
Oh, don't we have best goal of the season?
Oh, we do. You're right. You're right.
Because we flipped it all around.
You're right. Mine's a homer pick. Surprise, surprise.
I bet.
But it has a slight meaning. Eddie Cavani's 35-yard chip just a few weeks ago.
Against Fulham.
Yeah. 35-yard chip. You know what that did? That won me a free 6-pack of beer, fellas.
Oh, well, there you go.
His 10th goal of the Premier League season, capped off beautifully. I believe it was like NBC's third or fourth goal of this season, but that one, Phil and I had a bet that he thinks that Eddie Cavani's trash, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 and that he wouldn't score 10 goals in the Premier League season. Haha. Take 35 yards in the back of the net, motherfucker. I'll tell that to his face. We go at it all the time, but that was a beautiful way to cap off 10 goals and get myself a free 6-pack of whatever I want. Or 4-pack, because there are some good breweries around here that do.
That was great.
Awesome.
I do recommend one. The Whistling Bird Sour over at Claremont, Sun Creek Brewing. They've got a new version out, a lime one for the summer. This would be really good. So there's that.
Oh man, I can't wait to not have that.
Oh, Ron, I can't wait till you're back in the States. We show you the proliferation of sours that have exploded upon.
We have like 6 on tap that are just
good. We're going to convert you.
Every single one of them is terrible.
We have a lemon lavender. Oh my god!
I used to not like sours either, Ron, and I converted. I'm saying we can get you
Hurricane
some stuff.
Party.
Wait, lemon lavender?
Yeah,
is that
it's good? It's fantastic. Don't.
Is that
I thought
dish soap or beer?
Both. It tastes fantastic.
Yeah, you want.
It is fantastic.
Nope.
Where were we at? Oh, goals of the year.
Yeah.
I'm glad I put 2 down because I was scared someone for best moment would put the header from Mr. Allison Becker.
United fan amongst them all. Yes.
I didn't think it would be fair, to be honest. I did think it would come from Ron. The dying seconds of the match, the West Brom 1-1, and that the goalkeeper comes in and scores. Okay, so here's my other one. Because I love a good overhead kick, and I like to say a French name, Sébastien Haller. From back in December 16, 2020.
Yeah.
And then
West
got
Ham versus,
sold in January. He's gone.
West Ham versus Crystal Palace. The overhead kick got sold, but they still did okay.
Well, you know what? I remember texting either you guys or somebody else at the time and being like, hey, listen, this goal should be top 10. This goal should be talked about way more than it was. But because it's West Ham and because it's Sebastian Haller, nobody cares.
You wonder if he'd have stayed on.
Brilliant goal, though.
Would he have? Right.
But that's really the only thing he did because he really didn't put the ball in the back of the net that much for them. So there's no like.
But boy, what a good one!
That goal was great.
Yeah,
jeez, I agree with you.
So yeah, is that you, Ron?
Yeah. So I have 2. The first one is in the league, in the Premier League. I am siding completely with Ferris that Cavani chip from last year was such a good goal on Cavani's part. I still think he was offsides because Bruno didn't actually touch the ball.
That was highly debated. Yep.
But it was still complete class on Cavani's part. So that's my best goal in the Premier League season. Now, I have a second goal, which is important because the best goal by Chelsea this year happens to be Christian Pulisic scoring again in the Champions League in the draw to Real Madrid. He is the first U.S. international male to score in a Champions League semifinal, and that goal breaks DeMarcus Beasley's goal record for the most Champions League goals by a U.S. international.
Awesome.
DeMarcus Beasley had scored 4. Pulisic scores 5.
Love it. And so do you know that today a U.S. men's international player will win the Champions League?
It'll be the second one ever to win. Ron, game's obviously 3 p.m. our time here in the U.S. Are you
staying up at 3 a.m.?
Staying up? Are you gonna like?
I'm trying.
Watch it in the mornings. I know you got to go to work. Or are you off? No,
I'm off.
Oh, okay. So the worst case scenario, you could load it up and just not look at anything and fire it up first thing when you wake up.
Yeah,
but
I could watch a replay first thing when I wake up. It's 3 a.m. and with the game will be at 3 a.m. my time, and I really do want to watch it, but I don't think I'll be able to stay up that late.
Annoyingly cheering on Chelsea for this because I love Christian Pulisic, and so
Yeah,
I'm
want
pulling for
Pulisic
Christian
to do
P.
well.
Absolutely.
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I want him to do well. I don't disagree with you.
Give me a 3-0 win over Man City with a hat trick by Christian P. I would love that. Won't happen, but I would love
I met
that.
a really annoying Chelsea fan just a few weeks back that was just slurring his words and spouting off at Chelsea. Oh, the Champions League, we're the best team ever, and you guys just lost to this team. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, buddy. 10 minutes later, he fell out of his bar stool. So that alone is why I don't want Chelsea to win.
It's amazing. I was going to put a thing on our social media.
Now this is a difference in our friendship, Ferris, because if this were Man United against Man City, I would root for Man United because I'm your friend. And if it was Arsenal instead of Chelsea, I'd root for Arsenal because I'm your friend. But you guys were like, hooray for me, f*** you, boo, boo, boo.
I didn't say her. I posted I'm pulling for Chelsea.
I don't really, you know what? I really don't have a dog in the fight. I really don't I don't want City to win it, obviously, and I don't want Chelsea to win it, but Blake, you're right. I do want Pulisic to
I said I'm pulling.
do well.
Yeah, I said I'm pulling for Chelsea. I want Christian P.
But I'm not pulling for anybody to win. I want it to be the exact same as the other night, like 1-1 going to pens, and Zach Steffen gets subbed in and scores for City and goal.
Now here's one for
That's
you.
the U.S. international man that wins.
If Pep Guardiola did win the Champions League, and he's won the league a couple times, now the Champions League with Man City, is he going to bounce somewhere after that?
Where?
I don't know, dude. Just he wins at places, and then like once they own it, he just kind of leaves. I'm just saying.
Orlando City welcomes it. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
No, we like our coach very much here.
We did. All right, should we move on to our predictions
we did?
to get us to wrap us up?
Oh, yeah.
I
We'll fly
really
through this.
enjoy our top four.
So Blake had Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. I had Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham. And Ron had Liverpool, Leicester, Tottenham, Man City.
I had no faith in the Spurs. You two did.
No, you did not. How it actually finished was Man City 1, Man United 2, Liverpool 3rd, Chelsea 4th. So the others that were picked in ours was Leicester City finished in 3rd, Tottenham finished in 7th, and Arsenal finished in 8th.
No, Liverpool finished in 3rd. Leicester finished in 5th.
Yes.
Oh, yes, correct. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was late when I was doing this. Leicester did finish in 5th last day.
Tottenham was in 7th. Arsenal in
Tottenham
8th.
was still in 7th, and Arsenal.
So
I at least got that right.
Who
that was
did
most
the best out of this?
Probably me.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Man City did get first.
He got
I did
3,
get that
I got
right.
2.
Liverpool and Man United are just swapped, and Tottenham were just, nowhere near there.
Right, but I'm saying I got 3 as well. I guess I didn't pick Man City as first. So if you're going by,
you had Arsenal in your top 4. No, you don't get any credit for this.
Dude, you don't get any.
You guys are tied. You guys are tied.
Tottenham is barely above us. You can't just wipe
Not
away
barely,
your Tottenham
they are.
pick.
You can't say barely. They are.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't wipe away as if Tottenham was 5th. They weren't. They were 7th.
Do you know who did get it right?
Who?
Golden Boot. You had Aubameyang. Yeah, let's sign a contract and then shit the bed. That worked out well.
Yeah, but how are you going to know that happened? I mean, like you keep making that like that was
no. What you can rely on is welcome to Manchester United, Sir Harry of Kane, 23 goals, and also won the assists too. He had the most assists in the Premier League.
I kind of thought he was going to get hurt at some point and was going to mess that up.
That's
to be perfectly honest, that is why I didn't pick.
That's not entirely inaccurate.
I was not far off.
No, you were not.
Nope.
You had Salah, who finished with 22, so he was second in the race. Aubameyang, I don't know where he finished, but he only had 10, tied with a free transfer in Edison Cavani, so that worked out well.
Man, the next category, this guy proves me right every
Ron
season.
Sweeps this every year. His go-to, he went back to the old Slaven of Bilic. First to get sacked.
And was he right?
12/16/2020. Ron just holds that title.
Does that not feel like it was 3 years ago, though?
Oh, 100%.
Right, it does.
Man.
That.
In fact, while we've been talking, there have been a couple times I got ready to throw something out and realized it was the previous season. Because the way the pandemic
you're
kind of...
right. I did the same.
The way the pandemic fell over both seasons, it messed up my sense of you realize like between seasons of the year, seasons of sports, whatever, how much you clock your own time to those things. So to have them all get so messed up, I really was like, no, you guys are wrong. Well, no, wait, that was the previous season.
Well, and I know I jabbed you a lot about Arsenal in this pot, but you guys won the FA Cup not too long ago.
Yeah.
You guys won the FA Cup, and then it tied into the season.
Yeah.
With Aubameyang scoring, I believe.
Right. We won the FA Cup, opened by beating Liverpool and winning the Community Shield.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it was all downhill.
Yeah. No, until Boxing Day, which if you will remember,
you totally set him up.
Manchester City, Manchester United collected more points than Arsenal's 47. Furthermore, only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals than the 39 the Gunners shipped. So, I mean, yes, you are right for the first half of the season, but then thanks for setting me up for that. That was all your fault.
You're welcome. I literally put that on a tee for you just Blake had Scott Parker being sacked. He has stolen a job and still with Fulham. I had Frankie Lampard, which wasn't too far off because he was second in that race. He got sacked on 125.
Hey man, I'm going to give Lampard some credit though. Tuchel is doing what he's doing, but it still was Frank's team. I don't know, man. I still think I think there's a future for Frank
it was
Lampard.
Ownership team. Remember, they had like 7 people come in the past year. Werner and Ziyech and so on and so forth.
I don't know. I still think Frank Lampard's got a future down the road. It was like too early for him.
I think he does. I think he's
moved to commentary. I think he'd be a great commentator. I do. I think he's super smart. He just got inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. They started it this year, which I know we haven't talked about. But the first 2 were Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry. Can't argue with either of those. The next was it Lampard, Roy Keane, and somebody else, which are all great. We're relegated. This is interesting. So both Blake and Ron had West Ham going down.
Yeah.
That they finished in 6th, so that didn't happen.
But just like we were saying earlier, they were terrible before pandemic.
They were.
Pandemic hits, and they come back, as David Moyes so poetically said, we came back a different team and have been amazing. But they were beforehand.
They were.
Yeah.
Blake actually got 2 correct in Fulham and West Brom. Both Fulham went down in 18th and West Brom went down in 19th. None of us had Sheffield United.
Nope.
I also had Fulham and West Brom. And yet, Matt, out on the West Coast, I did have Villa going down. So did Ron, though.
Yep, down with the Villa.
They finished in 11th, so they didn't finish in the top 10. Wow. But they did not go down. They played quite well for a majority of the season. And Ron had
Villa probably would have been Aston Villa probably would have finished better if Grealish was more healthy.
Not injured, yeah. Not a bad point. Yep. So Villa finished in 11th and Brighton Hove finished in 16th. So Ron wasn't too far off, but Brighton Hove did finish above Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield. And last, Leicester-ish prediction. Blake, you were close, man.
Oh, so close.
That Leicester would finish in the top 4.
That one
came
hurt.
Down to the last day.
I really wanted them to do that. I mean, no offense, Ron there, but I was really rooting for old Brodge and Leicester. I want Leicester to. Okay, so Tottenham got rebuilt by Pochettino and started to become a modern day fixture of the top 4. And I just think it would be so rad off of that crazy run to winning the Premier League if Leicester could become the new modern day, top 4 club that, you didn't expect. And they still could.
And close.
They still could, man. What's happening in Leicester is rad.
By and large, they are.
Yeah. The ownership loves Brendan Rodgers. All this talk that Brendan Rodgers could be like Arsenal or Man U should snag him. He's not going to leave. Those owners love him.
No, why?
It's a good relationship. I mean, he barely didn't make it into. Is it a little troubling? Yes, 2 years in a row they just did squeak out. Yeah, the one stat that does suck is like 92% of the season, Leicester's in the top 4, and then they right at the end kind of.
Well, do you know what also hurt them? One of their players of the season, in my opinion, James Madison came back for the last 2 games, which is huge. But
absolutely,
Harvey Barnes.
Yes,
Harvey Barnes was tearing up the league for a vast majority of it, and he got injured and he'll be out at least until next year. But Ian Nacho was playing very, very well for them. Ian Nachos. I cannot think of that name every time. I just think of Nachos, Nacho Sack, or whatever.
Yeah, me too. Every single time I'm like, I'm hungry for nachos.
Did Blake freeze? No, he's there.
No, I'm there.
And then our Lester's prediction. So that was one. I was pretty damn close as well. Frank Lampard gets sacked first. Not first, but second. So.
But
Yeah,
that's not really a Lester's
Thank you,
prediction.
Ron.
At the time? Oh,
No,
it was super
no,
Frank.
no,
at the time?
Ferris.
Yes, it was. We argued this then.
You
Of
are
course it was.
wrong on your definition, dude.
Nobody thought
The
he was gonna sack.
definition of a Leicester-ish prediction is something happening, like someone punching above
He was not
weight.
the odds on. He
No,
was not the
stop.
No, because the
Listen.
Leicester odds to win the league were outstanding.
No,
He was nowhere near odds on to get sacked.
no. Leicester winning the league that year was a crazy thing to have happened.
The odds,
So
right,
a
the odds,
Leicester-ish prediction is a positive. It is someone doing more than you thought they were going to do.
Well, I
That's
want
like
Lampard
saying-
in commentary, so that's a positive for me.
That's why I put Ron puts Crystal Palace in Europa League. That's a Leicester's just picking Frank Lampard to get sacked first is just the same thing as you picking him in our previous category of first manager sack.
Right.
You
Agreed.
failed at this.
Yeah,
Same way
agreed.
Man United failed at defeating Villarreal. You failed at this. Get out. Get out. As Alberto Moreno said, get out with this one. That's not a good one. You got to pick. So when we do this next time for the next season, you got to pick a positive that's like something crazy good happening that you didn't expect. You gave the same answer twice. What are you doing here?
I agree. I totally agree.
Your face is amazing. We should start doing this as a
I
video
was going
pod.
odds. That was my thing. The odds are for Frank was nowhere near to get sacked, and guess what? He got sacked second. He was not far off from being first.
That's why you picked him for first manager sack.
I called it. I
Doesn't
predicted his demise and Chelsea's turnaround. Essentially, is what it
You
means.
predicted his demise in the first manager sacked.
Correct.
Yeah,
Not
you
far off,
already
'cause
did
he was
that.
such-
No,
Because
but
he couldn't get a team of
So
these,
that
like,
means
7.
you didn't have a Leicester-ish
I did
prediction.
because his odds were he was nowhere near the top,
whatever.
the top.
Just
trend
stop
centers to get
arguing.
fired.
You're so wrong.
saying.
Just stop arguing.
Just saying.
oh, I love it. Oh God, this is great.
You sound like a flat earther.
So,
Well, on certain days, if you drive far enough, you can fall out right now. I'm just kidding.
well, I already said this, but Ron picked Crystal Palace to get into Europa. That did not happen.
No, they finished in 14th.
Yeah.
Not good. You would
But
have
I
better luck with
understood
Southampton. Maybe.
I understood
Not
the
really.
prediction when you made it, though. Like I was like, man, okay, that's a good Leicester-ish.
No, you didn't. No, there's no way Palace ain't get anywhere near that.
But that's why it's a good Leicester-ish prediction.
No one expected that Leicester was going to win the league that year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And nobody
that's the point.
expected Frank Lampard to be first sacked.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Because
did.
he wasn't first sacked.
But he was
So,
damn close.
see ya.
He was damn close.
It's
Come
still
on.
not a Leicester-ish prediction.
Second,
Just-
when, like
just
club
let- no,
legend
no, no.
Frank
Bull-
Lampard is back. Come on.
Just like Blake
I will
can't
argue
hide
this one.
behind those bull
The face,
stats.
just like that freaking kit you're wearing. Let's talk about Chelsea kits. What the hell is going on with
Oh.
that new one? There's lines
God,
everywhere.
that's terrible. I think I sent it to you guys and said this thing
Everywhere.
makes it look like a court jester.
Oh
It's
It
like-
yeah.
actually doesn't look
It's
half
like-
bad.
Squares
On the
and
field.
squiggles.
It's-
Oh,
it's-
They
not
said it was
good.
a throwback to the art renaissance in like the 1960s in London
Well,
or
there.
something to that
Yeah.
nature.
it's still terrible. Still terrible.
Well, you know what's really
First-
terrible is the
first we gotta-
Liverpool one because it looks like AS Roma's.
Whose?
Look at Liverpool's.
Oh, why they have the orange to it?
It looks like Roma.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
weird.
It looks like AS Roma.
Weird.
It's very strange. Yeah.
Chelsea's got to get that 3 off their front because
Yes.
it's
I
stupid.
think, by the way, have you noticed that I think Arsenal's third kit, are we getting something similar to the banana kit? Because there was
BANANAS.
there was a leak for the third kit, and it's very similar to the banana kit with different colors, the way it had all those squiggles and stuff. Or not squiggles, but
Yeah.
like zigzag. So I don't know. We're in for some stupid kits. I
That
didn't
new
We have a new
buy.
shirt
kit is
sponsor this
terrible.
year, so our kits are a little bit delayed. We
I-
got a new sports Pez or sports
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. We have something.
I did not get a new Arsenal kit this year. Why? Because it's.
Did you not
Adidas
get
and
the
it's
one
boring.
that we loved and Ron hated? The Highbury white one with the lines.
Oh,
that
Ron's
is a
so wrong. That
beautiful
one's
kit.
beautiful. No, you know what? I need to get that.
Beautiful.
Maybe I can even get that.
I kid you not. I thought about buying that kit. It's a sharp freaking kit.
Well, you know.
Well,
no,
it
makes it look like you're a shitty house painter.
No, that's your kit this year. Let's put a line here. Let's put a line here. Let's put a line here.
Nope, ours don't look like we're paint splattered. Ours just, I agree. Ours look terrible. I agree.
I liked ours.
But that one makes it look like
so
you are a really bad house painter.
So
here
just
you
shy
go.
of 2 other kits for me at the moment.
That's going to be one of our
the
Premier
Pride
League
kit this year.
Phenomenal. The Pride kit this year for the Orlando Pride is one of the best kits in soccer, period. So one of our upcoming episodes, as we wait for Premier League to kick back on, is going to be a battle for the best kit or battle for the worst kit.
Love it.
I don't know. But I
like it.
Now that I've said it, I kind of want us to do an NCAA bracket and have pictures of the new kits.
Or the best kits in your closet.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I already win because of the kit Ron got me with the New Zealand rugby team. That's not a soccer kit.
That's true.
Still, that's a pretty cool kit.
Well, you did get us a New Zealand soccer kit, though.
Yes, I did.
Or no,
Yeah.
I got you both New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's a sharp kit as well. That's a really sharp kit, actually, with the
the All Blacks
on
the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of which, glad we mentioned kits.
Oh my God, we should have started with this.
We are sending one out. We got to figure out how and what and how we're going to do that. But our fantasy league, that is, was
Wait,
one
we
this
were
year.
still doing that?
Yes,
we're
Ron.
still doing that.
Despite your inability.
Blake
to keep
actually
up with
ended just above me. Well
Boo,
done.
yeah, baby.
In 24th, I just checked. I didn't even see the final points.
That
Blake
was
finished
my
right above
goal.
me. I still finished above Matt Cole.
Hey, when you're going to your, here it is. I was trying to get it to pull up.
FPL Viking, and I'm so sorry. I'm not even going to pronounce the name, but
he beat our favorite, who usually wins, Mr. Kim.
Pod favorite Kim.
He by 90 points. Yes.
Yeah.
It was
and Kim
tight.
put in a good effort, but Viking he was consistent all year. So
FPL
we're going to be
Viking.
either sending him out a kit or PayPaling him a kit or something to that extent. But we are in talks with him, and we'll get that out to you.
Have you already spoken to him?
I've been messaging him back and forth.
Okay, cool.
Social media. There's a couple avenues we can go, so we can discuss it after the pod. But I
love his name, Ulrich. What a great Viking sounding name. So I love Fantasy Premier League Viking.
Nice.
Dude, congratulations.
Congrats.
Blake, congratulations. You beat Ferris. That was the main thing I needed to do.
Doesn't that mean you get one too?
By 3 points.
Well,
I beat Ferris.
I'm like 0-2 at this point.
It's true. Ferris is 0-2.
One off of that.
We said we were going to do that. Then I was like, hey, it's probably better
Yeah.
if we keep doing this for the people who are actually playing.
Correct.
We
thank you to everybody.
did it for Ferris twice.
The first year.
Yeah, we got him a Brewtiful Game one. And Fulham. No, it wasn't.
Got
It was
him
a
a Fulham.
Fulham, yeah.
But didn't it say Brewtiful?
It sure as
the
hell does.
Yeah.
That's
what I thought.
Oh, sorry. Yes, but it was a Fulham kit.
Yep.
Guys,
but thank you to everybody because
thank you.
This was
everybody.
the most we've had in this league since we have started.
Thank you for mentioning that, Ferris.
33 people.
33 people. Jeff, our buddy Jeff, you started out so strong and you were talking some smack. Dude, you ended 33rd.
Below Ron, who doesn't check it
I think
ever.
I was gonna say, I think you pulled a Ron and you forgot and you managed to end 20 some points below Ron, Jeff.
Ever.
Jeff, I feel like the next time you visit Orlando, I owe you a beer.
Oh, that's funny.
A consolation prize. You won
clearly he wasn't checking it either.
You won the Ron no prize. I can't believe I'm actually impressed.
We should make you buy the kit this year for
but we did. I mean, I'm looking through the names.
Some great names on there too.
Oh man, some great names. My old college friend Colin, dude, if you listen, I mean, we don't chat much at all, but the fact that he joined our league, it just made my day. Colin, what a good dude. What a really good dude. Phil Sakamajaka is still one of the best names. Phil always puts a good name out of here, but Sakamajaka is
Arsenal FC is a great name. That just describes
from Siddharth.
So
yeah, dude, and looking at the names, and I don't want to
3-0
Assume,
walk-on.
but what's really rad, a lot of the names on here, I think we've got a lot of folks from just across the globe, period, which is pretty rad. I like one of them's United Hong Kong. Christopher, I don't know if you live in Hong Kong, but it just makes me excited. This is kind of global, which on one hand has made things a little difficult, but don't worry, reach out to us because we ended up finding some places we could order in Europe.
I actually see this in the Foley right now. A pod favorite of ours, Gary Watson, Victor Moses Lawn.
Dude, these names are so good. We're terrible. Okay. So that's something we have to do. So for next year, I feel like we got to make sure not only do we announce the winner, get them a kit, but we're going to have some no prize call outs for best names of the year, because there are some
magnet or something.
There are some good
there
names.
Are some good ones.
And I started thinking about getting clever, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with Blake's Brewtiful because I can't compete. There are so many good, funny, great names on here that I just love. I'm curious about Caroline's football family comp. I'm curious. So I don't know if she, if that's someone that joined, because the way I do love, if you listen to this and you've never done fantasy Premier League, but maybe you've done like fantasy like NFL or something like that. I like the way that, which I do NFL fantasy, but I always hate when I get in 2 or 3 leagues and it's so hard to track because you've got 3 different teams. I do love the setup of the salary cap sort of setup with the fantasy for Premier League, so that you can make one team and join oodles of leagues, but you're still just managing one team. If you are an avid soccer fantasy player, I'm not telling you anything new. So this is just for listeners who maybe you're only familiar with sort of like American football or basketball or whatever. I really enjoy this setup for fantasy because it's way more fun to join multiple leagues. Like I don't do that well in it, but I always join the Arse blog, or it's the Gunner blog fantasy league. I came in 1700th and 1716th, which I think still beats Mr. Arsecast himself because he was talking about where they landed. So he was pretty low. But it's so much fun to be able to join. And I always join World Soccer Talk. I don't know if you guys remember their league.
I'm in there as well. I do like 3,000 and something.
Dude, I'm 3,008. I do terrible. They've got good players in there. I mean, they're good. But it's always fun every year. Ron, you should try it sometime.
Hey, I defy you to find anybody who plays better in the first 3 weeks than me.
Because not entirely inaccurate.
Do you know what's funny?
I come out just killing it in the first 3 weeks, and then because I have the attention span of a goldfish, I completely forget about it.
But it's interesting the way you look at a span of time is important. Kind of how since Boxing Day, only Manchester City and Manchester United collected more points than Arsenal's 47, and only City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals.
Cut us off. Cut us off. That's your dad joke. End it. Be done.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, man. I was wondering if I would get a natural setup for that one last time. And can I tell you, I'm so glad that I did. Oh my God. Okay. This was a ton of fun. I hate we had to wait a week to do it, but I always look forward to and love doing the wrap up every year, gents. It's because it's our anniversary. This is how we started 5 years ago. It was Chelsea's. It was Leicester's
first year
win. So it was that first year. So
2016. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. So it's been 5 years we've been doing this. So for everybody that's been listening, man, thank you. Gosh, it's so much fun to do this. We know we've been a little inconsistent this year, but let's just be honest. The world has. So I'm very keen to almost treat next. Obviously we're still going to got the pod going. We've got for over the summer. We've got Europe competitions. We're going to the Olympics. We got the Gold Cup. We got a lot of stuff going on. So we got plenty of soccer to talk. But I almost do want to treat this upcoming Premier League season. And obviously MLS and NWSL are happening now. But I do want to treat this upcoming Premier League season as almost like a relaunch to get back in, because correct me if I'm wrong, Ron, but shortly after the season opens, it won't be too long before you're back into at least this hemisphere with us, whether you're actually here or not, but you're back in this hemisphere.
Yep. I'll be there.
Sweet.
It'll be so good to pod in person again.
Oh,
Can't wait.
man, guys. I mean, we got some new stuff. I think I'm getting a couple more
We're
new
fully
mics.
vaccinated, all of us. Right?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Got some new mics. And oh, man, we're going to have a good setup. It's going to be good.
Can't
I
wait.
can't wait.
So, but in the meantime, we'll
Do
be
you want a flask beforehand?
Oh God, some tacos
Raw.
beforehand. Yes, bro. I can't wait. I hope all of you are able to get some back form of normal that are listening and things are going well your way. It's been crazy, but I am. But this summer we've got plenty of soccer to talk about, and obviously our MLS and WSL clubs rolling along well to talk about. So I think that's it. Follow us. The easiest thing to do is go to thebrewtifulgame.com. And you can find all our socials, but Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hit us up on Untapped. That doesn't actually link on the website because, the way the website's built doesn't have a handy dandy little social feed, but a lot of you follow on Untapped, which is awesome. Right
It links
now,
to Twitter.
I will miss Ron's awesome, Chinese beer adventures though on Untapped when he comes back. And I think that covers
Don't
it,
worry.
guys.
I'll be traveling a bunch.
Is that everything? Oh yeah.
think so.
You'll be bouncing around. I know that. Okay. So the only thing I'll do is I just got HBO Max, recently. And you know why I got it? This is nerd talk a little bit, Blake. We didn't do much nerd stuff for this episode. The new Mortal Kombat movie, because this day, the crappy original Mortal Kombat film is one of my favorite theatrical experiences I have ever had. It was just the crowd was, every time a character came on screen, they cheered and stuff. And I kind of hate that, this year it just came, it just came out on on HBO Max or whatever. But something I did not realize, because it kind of ties into, our love for Europe and stuff. But I did not know that the original Mortal Kombat is based on like a Scandinavian origin, from Finland. It's based on an old worship song. It's based on a Finnish hymn. Come on. That one's good.
On the other note, there's a Potter marathon happening on the USA Network, which I just turned to, and that's where my attention is now going.
I love that Paris just started watching Harry Potter.
I tuned out. The minute you started, I'm like, I know what you're talking about. Get out of here.
Finish him.
No, we all got it. Turn off the pod. Click stop. Click end. Do whatever you need to.
I mean, so I will give you credit for tying that all together, but it was not worth the wait.
Oh, it was worth the wait. Finish him. Get over here.
God,
all right, gents, here we go. Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.
Cilantro.